Good day, folks. Today is Tuesday, January the 29th, and this is the Metastock report, taking a look at our swing systems that we've got in play here with Metastock. I want to take a look at what's actually happening and show folks what we have brewing in the charts. Let's start with the Dow Minis, which going to be very interesting because for the first time in a while, we've got a sell zone, really since the beginning of December last time. Now, there are a few differences between this sell zone and the prior sell zone, but here's the thing. Here we had clear resistance, and then just above it, we have another clear resistance zone. Our job, if we are to consider what's going on here, is to take a look at what the charts are actually saying to us and what these sell zones might indicate. The first thing that I see is that the sell is telling us we need a test of support. We got that yesterday. Old resistance, new support, holding in the range. So here are the things that we need to see. If there is a lower high and then a break down below, our charts are very likely to continue shorter in the short term, stair-stepping into these ranges. This is the alert event. Why? Because things are bullish. When we see a sell zone that's sitting with prices up above our moving averages, we've got to wait for those things to break down. That's 24,275. The failed retest there, put it on your list. That's what we're going to look for clear support to hold. If it does not, we're going to start reversing down in this space. If indeed we get up above 24,825, we'll move into 25,000, and then we'll see another sell zone in the formation. So we've got to be very careful here. We're coming up. This is the first sell zone that we've seen in a while. These formations are very good. As you can see from the past here, it's told us just what we needed to do in terms of coming into support and bouncing. This is a key level to watch. Let's take a look next at, let's take a look next at the ES. Also giving us a sell zone. We have to do the same thing, folks. We have to think about what is the form telling us and what are we to look at? Well, the form is telling us that there is clear support down here at the 2616, 2615 area. We have gone a little bit below it, but we brought it up immediately. So it's not if it tests or not, it's if it fails the test. And the only way it can fail the test is by losing this 2617, heading lower, and then bouncing and not being able to recapture. This is a very interesting zone as well. The key areas for breakdown really are going to be up here at 2677. I've talked about 2670 a lot. It is resisting that area fairly well, and so that's what we are going to look for. These are regions that are now resistance. Our big system is saying, listen, if I have a bounce, it is likely to fade, particularly at my first area of resistance. And then if I lose this area, I've got myself a fade down to lower levels. Let's take a look at finally the NQ. Very, very heavy tech earnings releases right now. Apple is this afternoon. We hit a sell zone yesterday. We are now sitting right at the baseline of support. What does that mean? If my moving averages are up, it means I'm going to find buyers at this baseline, and they are going to come in. If I cannot get up over 6,800, I'm going to be able to initiate short action with a very tight stop. And so that is going to look very, very nice. You can use the cues, you can use options, all kinds of things that you can use here, because this really is in a zone that's been very good at telling us what happens if we lose frontline support. And that's the level to watch right there. That number is 66.15. Again, we've lost it before, and we've been unable to break higher. So the second time we lose it, that first bounce ought to send us right into the sell zones. New resistance is going to sit somewhere around 66.80, which we haven't had a good chance of staying over today. We got to 66.90 and then started breaking down right away. The next one on the list, we're going to look at oil. Oil's been in an interesting chart, and that interesting chart really, sorry about that, folks. All right, that chart is telling us, hey, listen, we've got a reversal action in formation, right? We can see it. We have this area and then a lower area and then a move upward. We are still under our moving averages. Global slowdown bothering these guys a little. It's moving up because of what folks are saying about Venezuela. I don't really think that that's why it's actually moving up. But what we do is pay attention to these edges. You can see that we are clearly caught at support and resistance zones. Pullbacks ought to be buy zones. We cannot get up over the top. We need to get out of the trade. This has been a good bounce into resistance, but again, sellers showing up all over the place, range-bound action in general. Last one we're going to look at is gold. It's the only one that's got a bullish action event. This bullish action, if we're looking at a composite chart, we can see that this chart is very near resistance. So what do we want to look for? Listen, if we've got an SMI that is showing highs and then a lower SMI on higher price, we are going to have ourselves a likely reversal of trend. So what we have to do is see how well it holds the 1311 to 1309 area. If it can't hold that area, we'll be looking at a fade down into the support zone. But notice this technical divergence here we're seeing on the stochastic tells us that our buy zone is going to be into resistance. That means the early morning triggers above 3605 gave us the open. It's taken us all the way to 1305. It's taken us all the way to 1316, and that is going to be the edge that we need to watch. This is the Metastock platform. If you are interested in learning about connecting swing trades with the market, this is an unbelievably wonderful platform to look at from big picture perspectives. Totally love it. And that's been your Metastock Map.